Hey everyone, this is Bridget and I'm at the Giant's Causeway here in Ireland. It's amazing. Can you check this out behind me? You'll get to see perspective because there's going to be people walking all around. There's lots of people. Anyways, today I wanted to talk to you about giants because that's what this place is called. And they said that it was created actually by giants competing across the ocean, and they stomped and actually created this. That's the mythological story. But in all reality, there's a lot of truth to the legends of giants and these mythical creatures that actually lived here on Earth. So that's what I want to talk to you about today.
The idea that we've been talking about a lot is in the future, like of ETs and mythical beings that are physical in the future and them coming to Earth. But I wanted to take a moment to go backwards today, which all time is now, but to go back and actually see what is going on in our past. I just got to Ireland and I went to Newgrange yesterday, which was absolutely incredible. And there's actually 2 other giant mounds right next to it. And the 3 of them together create a trinity of 3 different mounds that are giant, the actual biggest ones of their time. As I stood in these places, I could feel that the history that they were giving in the tours was actually most likely not true. Just like they say that the pyramids are only 5,000 years old or 4,000 years old, they're much older. And the same thing with these. And they say that just simple farmers actually built these structures that are an engineering feat, bringing in stones from all across Ireland when they only had stones and simple tools to actually build things. So I was feeling, no, that's incorrect, that's not true. And so I want to let this video be an imaginative opening to really push away and actually make room for what actually has happened in our past. And of course, we don't really know. There's no way of really knowing. We can do it from a scientific angle, but a lot of that gets covered up, like the true truth about things. One thing we can begin doing is opening the space for new information to come in and things that we know from our past. It's in our soul memory, these other incarnations, and we truly know. And also, if we use our intuition and tap into the land, tap into the energy, we can begin to feel what actually happened and what beings lived here. And the idea is that they have these school kids coming in to all these different places, and they're just being programmed from age 4 that, okay, this was built by farmers in this certain period, and then the kids don't have any ability to remember and to tap back in and to ask questions, and maybe it's completely different than anyone thought. And the cool thing is all of this is being unearthed right now. Like one of the domes they only found about 40 years ago, and they just finished it and now it's open. So it's one of these things that is new, it's fresh, and if we can take new perspectives as we go into this from scientific angle and from historical angles, we can get much better understandings of what truly happened.
Okay, so what about these giants? What in the heck am I talking about? So we know about Lemuria, right? And Atlantis. Those are civilizations that are recognized, but there was a lot of stuff that happened in between. And so one of the civilizations would be known as the Ancients, but there were these tall, big, giant beings, and they weren't doofus, Jack and the Beanstalk kind of giants. They were actually very advanced beings. And so we have traces of them actually living here on Earth. The first that I heard about this was actually from my uncle in Arizona. He is a giant hunter, and he was following all the myths and legends of the Southwest and up into Utah because there were so many different things talking about hidden gold, talking about these different ancient beings. And he actually found burial sites that were carved down into the sandstone rocks, like 20, 30 feet deep, which is incredible. And the carvings actually look like they're cut by laser. And some of these giants were actually set in, that was their grave, as they were set into these sandstone places. If you've been following the Corey Goode information, you'll have heard about this, and I suggest to go watch the episode on Cosmic Disclosure about giants because it is mind-blowing, and it shows us that these ancient beings that were very advanced could actually have the technology that just looked like simple stone that actually could be worked with to hold them in time and in a way, keep them in hibernating until they were supposed to wake up. And so a lot of these different giants have been found by the US military and such in these dome structures in Ohio and other places around the world, but there's tons of them in the Boyne Valley here in Ireland. And so I'm going, I wonder what those are about, because it's a very sacred place, and that's the alignment of the Trinity I was talking about with the 3 different master domes. And I don't know what necessarily was going on in there, but there was something held in the energetics so that they could be held in time, which is absolutely incredible. And so going back to the Southwest, there's also these different legends and such that they were held in the Grand Canyon, that they actually had caves that no one could get to before helicopters, that they were protected until they were supposed to be released. And these giants, if you actually wake them up, before they were meant to, they can actually just die on the spot, or they sometimes get angry, a lot of different things, because they're meant to wake up at a certain time. And for me, I have a feeling that it happens to be along that 25,000 year ascension cycle, maybe that they're meant to wake up, and once humanity is a little bit getting better here in the next few years, in the next decade, to maybe help us ascend. I'm not sure what their actual purpose is, but there's something about this transcending time that they're meant to show us and help us with that is now coming to light. The main point I want to make is that we need to open our minds, broaden our perspectives, because I can see the programming of this is exactly what happened, and these are the only beings that lived here, and this is the only thing that happened. And it's no, that's so not true. There's so much more. And the more we can open our minds and be in magical places like this, look at this, this looks like something that you wouldn't think exists. The more we can open our imaginations, the better off we're going to be, because in tapping into these other beings that physically existed on Earth and these other dimensions and these other wisdoms, it's going to bring through all of the information we need to take it to the next level in this current time period, because they knew, a lot of these ancient civilizations knew what the heck was going on. So the sooner we can open to that, open to them, open to what they created, and utilize that for ourselves, and begin to understand the true nature and the true integrity in which it was created, the better off we're going to be, is to look to the past, look to the ancients, look to the ancestors, as well as perceiving in from the future as well. So it's a convergence of all the time spaces into now. Being a history buff, it has been challenging for me, because since the time I first started learning about history, and I studied a lot about European art, European history, I just was I don't think a lot of this is correct. Even before I was into any of this, I'm there's something off. And the thing is that the conquerors are always the ones that write the history books, but also the people wanting to control also write the history books. So there's a lot more to explore, a lot more to find. So just every time that you're in a space, you're in a place, just do your best to tap into its true essence, its true energy, its true history, and the wisdom that it wants to bring forth to you. So I hope that you've enjoyed this video. It's been so fun being right here and showing you this place. There's so many cool formations to shoot around. And from now on, I'm only going to be doing 1 video per week on both of my channels, because doing 2 videos per week is crazy. And then I just pretty much spend 1 to 2 days a week doing videos, which is awesome. But I also want to take time to do other creative things and do more art and just tap into these places that I'm traveling to. And the internet's not very good where I'm at, so I can't even upload the videos very quickly. So go back and forth between my personal YouTube channel, The Bridget Nilsson, and this one. And I'm not even going to alternate, because I might want to do more on that one, I might want to do more on this one. So just every Tuesday, go and check which one has a new video, because I'll have at least 1 every week. And I really appreciate you tuning into this and watching this video. If you like videos like this, please like and subscribe below, and I'll have more for you next Tuesday on one of the 2 channels. And until then, goodbye from the Giant's Causeway in Ireland.